All right, ready to start? Here we are again. Hang on, folks. Just need to adjust my camera a little bit. How's everyone doing today? There we go. So, we continue our journey with the book Money and the Law of Attraction. We left it off last time on page 68. And before I get into it, what I want to say to everyone here is that I am not reading the book. This is not a reading of the book in the Law of Attraction. It is my interpretation based on my own experience and what I've learned from Abraham about the work that's in this book. So let's go back to page 68. The heading is Needing Money Won't Attract It. So, this is based on a question and answer format where Jerry is asking questions and Abraham is responding to the questions. So, the question Jerry is asking is that the people who need money the most are the ones who seem not to be able to let it in. And so the question is, why does it happen that way? Why can't people who need money the most be able to attract it easily when they work hard? They're hardworking people. So what's happening there? And then Abraham responds that it's not about the action. It's about the vibration that you send out while you are taking the action, and even before you take the action. What is the vibration that you're sending out before you take any action at all? And the answer is that it has to be aligned, which means it has to be aligned on the emotional scale. Hang on, guys. There we go. So, it doesn't matter what action you take. What matters is the vibration. So let me just grab my rule here. If you were here on the emotional scale and you spent a lot of time working really hard, your results would not be as good as if you were here on the emotional scale and you spent only a little bit of time working on it. It is the vibration that creates the end result, not the amount of time and not the amount of hard work. In fact, hard work is counterproductive because hard work leads to the person who's doing the work, leads to them thinking, I'm doing all of this work, where's my stuff? And so it makes things worse, because when you say that thing, when you say, I should be getting more than what I'm getting, that leads to getting even less. Okay, let's see. All right, give me a second, folks. I think some of you are telling me that the video is not clear, so give me a minute. Let me figure it out. Let's see if that will improve things. Sometimes I have a lot of stuff open going on my computer, and my internet doesn't keep pace with it. So hopefully this is going to improve things. Let's see. There we go. That's a lot better now. Okay. All right. So, Moni, let me know if that's better now. Because it should be, because I've closed down everything that I had open except YouTube. So, hopefully. All right. Looks like things are good now. Okay. So, going back to this element, to me, this is really important because it's one of the things that I used to notice about my parents, that they were really hardworking people, but they weren't getting the abundance that they thought they should be getting, and I thought they should be getting as well, because I thought everyone says work hard and then the results will come. So you work hard, but the results don't come. So what's up with that? How can that be? And then there are those lazy people who don't do anything and things just seem to fall into their lap. Why is that? And the answer is that it is not about the amount of work that we do, it's about the amount of alignment that we have. There's this saying I remember from my childhood that says, if you want something done, give it to a busy person, right? Because why? Because if you give it to a busy person is able to fit more into their day. Why? Because they're in alignment. Those people who are having fun doing what they do, they get a lot done. And they don't have an understanding really when they look at other people and they look at them and they say, how come you can't get so much done? And vice versa. And that's because when you're in alignment, you can get so much more accomplished. And when you're in alignment, the results of the work that you get are also very much better, a lot better, like a world apart. So it's not about action, it is always about alignment. If you were going to do something, it would be beneficial to sit down and do a couple of things. And all we really need to do in order to create a shift in our alignment is one, pre-pave. So put your vibrational intention out there. For example, I'm going to see this client. I want us to have a fantastic interchange. I want them to feel value coming to them from this exchange, and I want value for myself as well. I want them to benefit and I want me to benefit as well. I want harmony and satisfaction coming out of this interaction. When you put that out there, that's your vibrational goal. And vibrational goals are what result in manifested goals. It's the vibrational goal that manifests. If you don't have a goal, if you don't set out a vibrational goal, then it'll be like shooting arrows in the dark. Literally, some will hit the mark and others will just go into an abyss. Because if you don't know what you're aiming for, how are you going to get there? Now, let me explain how that works. Because let's say you set that pre-paving out and then you start talking to the person. You're in that interaction and you want to you want to say something to them, to, let's say, to put them in their place, or you want to be a little short with them because they're not getting what you're saying. If you pre-pave, your mind, powerful mind that it is going to stop you and remind you by saying, do you really want to say this? Maybe I shouldn't say this because I decided I wanted harmony. I decided I wanted value. I decided I wanted this person to go away from this interaction feeling that they got something good out of it. And then you'll stop yourself and you won't say those things that you were going to say. So this is how pre-paving is really helpful, because it makes you focus on how you want to think and behave in your interactions. And then what happens is that the results that you get are totally different from the results that you would get otherwise. They are better results, and all it takes is putting a little bit of thought in it. Because when you say, I want the other person to receive value, then you're focused on providing value. But if you don't focus on that, then you don't think about it. You don't think, am I providing value? How should I be responding? What can I offer? Right? And that little thing makes such a big difference. And it applies the same way in all our interactions, whether our interactions are with our coworkers, whether they're with our clients, with our family members. We want really to be of service, to provide value, and to receive value in exchange. It works both ways. All right. So Abraham says, I'm just going to read this one sentence out. Any action that is offered from a place of lack is always counterproductive. Because hard work is not the answer. Alignment is the answer. And when you do the vibrational work, it really works. So the first thing I explained was what we need to do is prepave. The second thing we need to do is to put ourselves into alignment. How do you put yourself into alignment? You don't have to put yourself into alignment by thinking about this discussion that you're going to have, or thinking about the person that you're going to have the interaction with, or the event, whatever it is. You don't have to think about that. All you need to do is to think about something that makes you happy. A pleasant thought, maybe a funny joke that puts you in a happy place. Because when you are in a happy place, then all subjects in your life will respond to this vibration. So whatever work you're going to do will happen easily. There'll be more ease and flow in whatever you do. You'll have happier interchanges with other people. You'll feel better. And when you feel better, everything seems easy. It's when you're not feeling good. Just imagine when you're sick, going to work or cooking a meal seems like too much. And where are you when you're not feeling well? You're not high up on the emotional scale. That's not when you're feeling happy. You're low on the emotional scale, and that's why doing the things that you normally do easily don't seem easy anymore. But when you're feeling good, when you're feeling happy, when the day you jump out of bed and you're excited about what you're going to do that day, everything seems easy. People seem nicer. You want to be nice to people. And because you want to be nice to people, people respond nicely. Because they will gravitate to whatever vibration you're sending towards them. Prepaving helps us to recognize that our vibration has dominance. We can dominate with our vibration. And if we, alongside prepaving, if we do a little bit of appreciation work, if we just consciously shift our thoughts to something good, then we've really set ourselves up for fabulous results. And it doesn't matter whether you're thinking about the past, present, or future. You could be thinking about something that happened in your past and bringing that vibration into your now reality. And it would be as if you were reliving that moment. And that's what we do when we go into our memories, isn't it? We go and relive those memories. And that is a good thing if you're reliving a happy memory, and not a good thing if you're reliving an unhappy memory. All right, so then the next thing Jerry says is that by and large, those who didn't achieve much success or weren't interested in even hearing about achieving success were people who had been taught that to want money was evil or immoral, and that the best thing for them to do was to remain as they were, even though they were unfulfilled. This is a huge thing. This is a very big thing in so many cultures and in so many places with a lot of people, because a lot of people feel that if they are making a lot of money, then they're maybe taking it away, or money creates problems in your relationships, in your life. You've heard it said, money is the root of all evil. So when you have a belief like that, how can you attract money to you? You cannot. Because if you think that money is bad, having too much money is bad, and money is the root of all evil, then you are actually sending a vibration of fear towards money. And I said that in one of my other videos, if money was a person and you were afraid of them, you wouldn't go near them and they wouldn't come near you. So you can't be afraid of having money and then ask to have more of it. It's like having two beliefs that pull you in different directions. And then some people have this belief that, oh my God, if I have a lot of money, I will have to share it and then I won't have enough. I'll just end up giving it all away, so what's the point, right? But what they don't understand is that reservoir of money is, if you use it, more comes in and more comes in, because you can never exhaust that stream of well-being, that stream of abundance. It has an unlimited supply and it can keep going on and on and on. And then what happens is, if your desires are not fulfilled over a period of time, what happens is you kind of give up and you say, oh, that's just not worth thinking about. Oh, I don't want that. I don't want to win the lottery. I don't care about winning the lottery. Or I don't care about having nice things and going on holidays and doing all of that, because you convince yourself that that possibility does not exist for you. And when you convince yourself that that possibility does not exist for you, then you've closed that door and it cannot happen. You have to leave the door of possibility open in order for those things to come to you. So if you close the door of possibility, then those things, even if they are around you, even if they are close by, they cannot enter because the door is closed. Right? So we always have to leave the door of possibility open. How do you do that? How do you leave the door of possibility open? Well, you do that by saying to yourself, it will happen. I like that, and I don't have to take it home today, because I may not have the money for it today, but that's okay, because I know money is on its way. And when I have enough purchasing power, I will go and pick up that thing that I want. And it's okay. I'm going to be okay with that. I'm not going to be disappointed. Because, see, disappointment is a negative emotion. If you look at something and you say, oh, I really like that, I wish I could bring it home, and I'm so disappointed because I can't take it home with me, it's the end of the world. Well, when you say things like that and you feel that way inside you, you're sending a negative vibration into the world. And when you send a negative vibration into the world, then you close the door of possibilities. The possibility that money to purchase that thing will come into your life, that possibility does not exist under those circumstances. All right, so then Jerry, who had an unlimited supply of questions, said, but what happens if someone who is poor by other people's standards does not feel poor? And Abraham says, others' assessment of you has no bearing on your point of attraction. So as long as you did not give attention to what other people are thinking about you, then their assessment or their opinion would not affect you at all. And so many times in history, we've seen this happen, where somebody is told that they're no good, and then they end up creating huge fortunes and doing all sorts of amazing things in the world. And that is because they don't buy in to whatever other people have to say about them. And sometimes people buy in. Sometimes parents say, oh, you're stupid, and the child buys it. The child says, yes, I must be stupid. Sometimes the parent says, you can't have that, there isn't enough money, and the child says, yes, you're right, there isn't enough money, so I can't have that. And those habits become permanent. And when those habits become permanent, that is how we hurt ourselves. That is how we create and learn a feeling of lack of abundance. And then we grow up and we come across teachers who tell us, who show us that that's not true. And then we begin the work of rewiring our minds, because really, all of this work that we do under the umbrella of law of attraction, it is all about rewiring how we think, what our belief systems are, and how to think and say what we're going to think and say, because what you think and say in this moment has an impact on what you're going to say and do next. All right, anyone have any questions? Just chip in, type your question out in the comments, and I will pick it up as I go along. All right. So then Abraham says, an improved feeling of prosperity, even if your current reality does not justify the feeling, will always bring more prosperity to you. So, if you felt positive in this moment just now about your future, then even though you're sitting or standing in a place where you really don't have the money, but the attraction process has started. And that is the most important thing. It's like when you plant a seed, you can't see it growing right away. But you know that as long as you're watering it and you're giving it the sunlight that it needs and the type of nutrients that it needs, that it is going to grow. And that is the same thing that happens with our desires. If we just don't give up on our desires, then we can let them go, knowing that they are on their way to us. Okay, so allowing more money to flow into your experience requires far less than most people understand. See, because most people think that I have to do more in order to get more money. But you don't have to do more to get more money. All you have to do is change your vibration. And yes, I agree, I accept, and in fact, I'm going to tell you that there is no other way. You do have to work on your vibration. You don't actually have to physically go and work harder. You have to do the vibrational work to shift the way you think your thoughts, because a little bit, okay, so this is really important. Make a note of this. A little bit of a shift in vibration creates a big jump in manifestation. What happens next, even if you feel just a little bit better, the results that you get immediately after are way bigger. They are magnified manyfold. And that is why it's important to keep doing the work in little bits and pieces. We don't need to get to the end of it today. We just have to make sure that we keep doing the work one little piece at a time. And that's why when we do the unlimited law of attraction 40-day workout, we finish one workout and we start another one, because you can't get it done. You have to keep doing it. It is ongoing. It's like, just imagine this. Just imagine that you brush your teeth and you say, that's it, I better do a really good job because that's the only time in my life I'm ever going to brush my teeth. No, we don't do that. We wake up and we brush our teeth every day because that's what's needed. Well, folks, law of attraction work, this work that we do, the vibrational work, the appreciation, the pre-paving, the meditation, it needs to be done on a daily basis, just like brushing your teeth. Just make it a part of your day and then see what happens, because life gets better and better and better. Yes, Monisha, that's exactly what it is all about. A little bit of a shift. Remember this, a tiny shift in your vibration creates a big shift in what happens next. One of the things that I find happening with a lot of people when they start law of attraction work, and I see posts on Facebook and people commenting and on YouTube as well, people feel that when they do a little bit of vibrational work, that it should lead to a big vibrational shift, and that big vibrational shift should bring them huge results, and things that have been waiting for a very long time should just fall into their lap. And where that is possible, if you're able to accomplish that shift, but not too many people are. The reason not too many people are is because we have old beliefs that we don't even know exist, because they're buried over here in our subconscious mind. We can't verbalize those negative beliefs, but they are negative because they are holding us back. And that is the reason why we can't make a big jump, because we don't even know that those beliefs are there. For example, uh, let's take a quick example. Somebody says, I don't want to work hard, so I want easy work to do, and I want lots of money to come to me from it. But as a child, they learned that being lazy or having an easy life was a sign of not being a good person. Oh, you're lazy. It's not said as a compliment. Your mother screams at you, don't be lazy. She doesn't say, oh, my beautiful child, you're so lovely. I love that you're lazy. No, right? And so what we learn is that being lazy is a bad thing. And then we say we want to do a bad thing in order to get something good. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. So if you believe that you have to work hard to get money, and then you come across law of attraction, and law of attraction says getting money should be easy, you have to shift that belief first. You have to shift that belief. You have to give up that belief. You have to find evidence that proves that belief wrong in order for you to jump over that hurdle, in order for you to disintegrate that belief. And that's why this work takes time. Because as you do the work, beliefs come up, then you deal with them and you move to the next step. And then beliefs come and you deal with them and you move to the next step. Make sense? All right. So what if we feel people won't like us when we have the money and we want to be loved? Again, that's a belief, right? So Monisha, thank you for the question. But that's a belief, and it's a belief that's pulling you in opposite directions. On the one hand, you want more money, but on the other hand, you think people won't like you when you have more money. So you have to convince yourself that it's okay to have money. Because unless you can convince yourself, you can't move forward. Your belief holds you back. And that is what the 4-step process is all about. That is what the Heart and Mind Alignment Program is all about. Because in those exercises, you are able to, first of all, locate those beliefs. See, the biggest problem is if we knew what our negative beliefs were, we would change them. Don't you agree? All of us understand that if we have negative beliefs, we should give them up. But the problem is we don't know how to find our negative beliefs. We think that we are positive thinking, but in reality, we have negative beliefs. And I talk about it in the book Thrive. Do I have a copy of the book? So, in the book Thrive is the 4-step process. And the 4-step process is supposed to help us locate our fears and challenges, because our fears and challenges are negative beliefs, and you can turn them around using the 4-step process. I'm going to give you the 4-step process. You don't need to go and buy the book. Just listen here. Step 1, know where you are. We all know that. I'm in a place where I don't have enough money. Where do I want to go? I want more money. So I know where I am and where I want to go. The next thing is dealing with those fears and challenges. So what is my fear? My fear is if I get a lot of money, people won't like me. I won't be likable, and I want to be liked. So subconsciously, you're pushing money away because you think having money is going to make you not likable. So what do you have to do? In step 3, you soothe yourself and you massage that belief and you find evidence that disproves it. So you say things like, but I know that person and they've got a lot of money, and look at how wonderful they are. Look at all the charitable works that they do. Look at that beautiful gift that they were able to give me because they have that money. So you appreciate that quality. And when you appreciate that quality, it negates the negative belief that you have, but it doesn't kill it overnight. It just negates it, it makes it softer. And then you make it softer with other sentences, similar sentences. And step 4 is just creating positive momentum. And you can do that by appreciating anything. Appreciate your cat, appreciate a tree, a flower, doesn't matter what you appreciate, but appreciation takes us up the emotional scale, and going up the emotional scale makes those negative beliefs weaker. So that's how you do the 4-step process. All right. And that is really what we need to do every time we think that something that we want is not possible. We just have to locate what we think are our fears and challenges and turn them around. Okay. So Abraham says that most people make no effort to come into personal alignment on the subject of money. Instead, people who don't have money and want it make all sorts of so-called excuses. They talk about pointing at perceived injustices. They attempt to define the rightness or wrongness of other people's actions towards them. They even want to have laws put in that will um, equalize the playing ground, so to speak. Force equalization. And then Abraham goes to say that in comparison, the only thing that is important is vibration. And if they didn't waste all their time and effort doing all those things, then, and all they did was just find a little bit of alignment, they would get positive results. And when you do a little bit of alignment work and you get positive results, you feel better. When you feel better, you go up the emotional scale. Then you do a little bit of work and you feel better. And when you feel better, you go up the emotional scale. And that is how you find your alignment. And that is how you learn to stay in alignment. All right. Okay, so on laziness, Monisha is saying, on laziness, people often tell me, what did you even do to deserve that? You didn't work much, indicating your laziness. Well, Monisha, it's about how you take it. Because you can be a sponge and you can say, oh yes, they must be right. Or you could say, that's just how you think. I don't agree. It's not about me. It's about whatever you're saying is about you. That's just how you see the world. I don't see myself like that. I think that Source has given me the opportunity to be lazy. And I quite enjoy being lazy. And I don't see why you should be commenting on it. Right? It's about how you take it. You can be a duck and let it fall off your feathers, or you can be a sponge and you can sponge it all up, and then that heavy sponge, if you put it on the surface of water, sinks right down to the bottom of the pond. Yeah, it's all good, Manisha. Okay, everything comes at the right time if you're ready for it. So, we're having a good discussion, aren't we? All right, let's keep going. So, Abraham says, often people feel as if they need to prove their worthiness in order to get money. So, the rich people, there's something special about them. God loves them more. The universe likes them. Maybe their skin is a nice color. Maybe they are more beautiful. That's why they have more money. Or they were born into a rich family. But it's not about that, because people can be born in rich families and they can lose it all. And people can be born in extremely poor families and they can hit it off because they refuse to accept the status quo. They refuse to be told who they are. They decide who they want to be. Okay. So make statements such as, so this is really important. Make a note of this or come back to it. And if you have the book, highlight it because these are really good statements. So the statements are: I want to be the best that I can be. I want to do and have and live in a way that is in harmony with my idea of the greatest goodness. I want to harmonize physically here in this body with that which I believe to be the best or the good way of life. If you will make those statements and then do not take action unless you feel good, you will always be moving upon the path in harmony with your idea of that which is good. So, you can reword those sentences because, I mean, Abraham is a little bit wordy or maybe ancient in the way they talk. So it's okay to reword those sentences. You don't have to use exactly those words. Use words that feel comfortable to you. All right. So then Abraham goes on. The next heading is called What is My Financial Abundance Story? And it's about this story that we are playing in our head. It's like maybe you can identify with this idea. When I was a kid, when I was in school, I would have music playing in the background while I was doing my assignments and I was attending to my homework. I would have music playing in the background. So even though we're going about our day to day, we're working with people, we're in the office or at home, we're cooking, we're talking to people, we've got stuff to get done. What happens is we have this story that's playing in the background. A lot of times we call it our subconscious. It's that story that's playing in the background. Abraham differentiates between subconscious and not because Abraham says there's no such thing as subconscious because nothing outside of you controls you. So when usually the reason they say that is because a lot of times people say, oh, that was my subconscious, and it's as if you're giving responsibility to this other part of you that you have no control over, and that is incorrect. You can call it subconscious, but you cannot come to it from a point of view of saying that you don't have control over it. You absolutely have control. So our subconscious, and I'll use that word here loosely, is that story that's playing in the background. And that story consists of all those things that we've learned about money from our childhood up till now. And I hear people saying those things like, oh, I never get a raise, or, when they give a raise, it's never enough, or our employers don't really care about us, and things like that. Right? That's the story that's going on. And sometimes some of that comes out in a comment. But we've got these stories that are playing in the background. And telling a new story is like having that cassette tape playing in the background and then recording. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember, but if you're as old as I am, you will remember. We used to record over cassette tapes, right? So we could make a new recording on an old cassette tape and erase the old songs that were on it and put new songs on it, new music on it, right? And we do that same thing with our digital media these days. We can erase an MP3 and download a new one. But that's kind of what it is. We've got this download, it's over here in the background, and it's always playing. It's always playing. And even though you might not be giving your full attention to it, you're listening to it. You listen to that music that's playing in the car while you're doing something else. You're driving somewhere. You listen to that music that's playing while you're cooking your food or whatever else. And you have to change that music in order to get a different mood, right? Because if you're playing sad music in the background, it kind of makes you feel sad. And if you're playing cheerful music, it makes you want to get up and dance. So the music that we play controls our mood. And the belief systems that we play, the story that's playing over here in the background in our subconscious mind, is controlling our mood. And our mood, what is our mood? Our mood is our vibration. Our mood is where we are on the emotional scale. So this story that is playing in the background, it's controlling where I am on my in terms of my alignment, where I am on the emotional scale. So changing, rewriting that story is so, so, so important. And that's what Abraham is talking about under this heading. Abraham, the heading is called, What is My Financial Abundance Story? And I'm going to just highlight an important paragraph and then we'll go to the next. There is actually in the book, let me see if I can find it quickly. Oh, that's the one for health. There is actually your new story about money. Ah, here it is. I found it. Okay. So I would be skipping ahead if I read it just now because it's going to come up probably in the next session that we have together. But you understand what I'm trying to say. We have to rewrite the stories that we tell ourselves. And Abraham here says, what anyone else has or does not have has nothing to do with you. The only thing that affects your experience is the way you utilize the non-physical energy with your thought. Your abundance or lack of it in your experience has nothing to do with what anybody else is doing or having. It has only to do with your perspective. It has only to do with your offering of thought. If you want your fortunes to shift, you have to begin telling a different story. So let's see, we've got about 20 minutes left, 15-20 minutes left on the call. And this is probably, is it going to take me 15-20 minutes to read? I think what I'll do is I will jump ahead to the story and then I'll come back here where we are just now today. So because I really love this story, and what I did was, because I have all of Abraham's books, I have the physical print book and I also have the audio book. What I did was I extracted from the audiobook the track with this story and I put it on a CD, and I used to listen to it in my car long ago when I started working on money. And I can tell you that it made a huge big difference. So I'm going to read this to you and I hope I do as good a job of reading it as Abraham did. Zara, can we rewrite our story only from a high place in the emotional scale? Very good question, Manisha. The way we rewrite our story is, no, you don't have to go first to a high place on the emotional scale. As you start writing your new story, you will automatically go to a high place on the emotional scale. And then the next day, or maybe even the same day later on, you will write the story again. So you write, so let's say, let me take this pen or this. Oops, oh no. Now I lost my place. Okay, so let's say we are over here and we write the story. Writing the story, the process of writing the story takes us up here. And then we let it go. We come back to it the next day. Now we are not picking it up from here, we left it here, so we pick it up from here. And then we write a new story. And as we write the story, we are going up the emotional scale. So this time we end over here. And then we pick it up from here and we take it further up. And then we go further up and further up. So in small steps of telling the story again and again and again, you completely change where you tell the story from. So you don't do it once and get it done. It's ongoing. But what I like is Abraham's story, because Abraham's story is so general. It's meant for every one of us. It's not specific to any one single person. It's meant for all of us. And it is so general that we can repeat it because it applies to everything. So this particular story, you can repeat again and again and again and still get really good results from it. So what I will try to do is to extract this somehow, the transcript, and I will extract the transcript and I will post the transcript in the Facebook group, in the Unlimited Life Facebook group, so that you can download it and then you can print it out and you can read it in your own voice. And I can tell you one thing for sure: if you read it standing up, so standing up is important because the energy that you flow when you're standing is different from the energy that you flow when you're sitting down. Stand up, get a printout, read it out aloud. Read it out aloud, and you don't have to do it forever. Just do it for a week. Because I'll tell you something that happens with processes or rituals. Abraham does not like using the word ritual because ritual gives your control to something outside of you. A process is like a ritual, except that you retain the control. So the thing with processes is fatigue. You get bored doing the same process again and again, over and over and over. So only do this for a week, 5 to 7 days at most, and then let it go. So here it is. I'm going to read it aloud, and then, like I said, the transcript will be available inside the Facebook group. I'll try and see if I can also post the transcript in the description of the video later on. Okay. So here goes. An example of my new story about money. I like the idea that money is as available as the air I breathe. I like the idea of breathing in and breathing out more money. It is fun to imagine a lot of money flowing to me. I can see how my feeling about money affects the money that comes to me. I am happy to understand that with practice I can control my attitude about money or about anything. I notice that the more I tell my story of abundance, the better I feel. I like knowing that I am the creator of my own reality and that the money that flows into my experience is directly related to my thoughts. I like knowing that I can adjust the amount of money that I receive by adjusting my thoughts. Now that I understand the formula for creating, now that I understand that I do get the essence of what I think about, and most important, now that I understand that I can tell by the way I'm feeling whether I'm focused upon money or lack of money, I feel confident that in time I will align my thoughts with abundance, and money will flow powerfully into my experience. I understand that the people around me hold many different perspectives about money, wealth, spending, saving, philanthropy, giving money, receiving money, earning money, and so forth. And that it is not necessary for me to understand their opinions or experiences. I am relieved to know that I do not have to sort all of that out. It is very nice to know that my only work is to align my own thoughts about money with my own desires about money, and that whenever I am feeling good, I have found that alignment. I like knowing that it is all right for me to occasionally feel negative emotion regarding money. But it is my intention to quickly direct my thoughts in better feeling directions, for it is logical to me that thoughts that feel good when I think them will bring positive results. I understand that money will not necessarily manifest instantly in my experience with the changing of my thinking, but I do expect to see steady improvement as a result of my deliberate effort to think better feeling thoughts. The first evidence of my alignment with money will be my improved feeling, my improved mood, and my improved attitude. And then real changes in my financial situation will be soon to follow. I am certain about that. I am aware of the absolute correlation between what I have been thinking and feeling about money and what is actually happening in my life experience. I can see the evidence of the law of attraction's absolute and unerring response to my thought, and I look forward to more evidence in response to my improved thoughts. I can feel a powerful leveraging of energy in being more deliberate about my thoughts. I believe at many levels that I have always known this, and it feels good to return to my core beliefs about my power and value and worthiness. I am living a very abundant life, and it feels so good to realize that whatever this life experience causes me to desire, I can achieve that. I love knowing that I am unlimited. I feel tremendous relief in recognizing that I do not have to wait for the money or the things to materialize before I can feel better. And I now understand that when I do feel better, the things and experiences and money that I want must come. As easily as air flows in and out of my being, so it is with my money. My desire draws it in, and my ease of thought lets it flow. In and out, ever flowing, always easy. Whatever I desire, whenever I desire, as much as I desire, in and out. And that is it. Isn't that beautiful? I think it is. So, like I said, read it out yourself, because the power of reading it yourself, engaging your sense of sight by seeing the words, by engaging your sense of sound by speaking it out aloud, by feeling the vibration of it in kinesthetic terms inside your body, that is powerful, my friends. Do it. Do it for a couple of days and see how it feels. All right, so I guess we're getting to the end of our program, our evening, and I think I want to stop at this point because I think that really put all of us at a high place. And that's a lovely place to finish off at. Now, what I'm going to do is, because a lot of us are spending time at home just now, what I'm going to do is we'll be starting the next 40-day round of the Unlimited Workbook, the Unlimited 40-Day Law of Attraction Workbook to accelerate manifestation. We're going to start the next round in a couple of days. And I was thinking of starting on Monday, but then Source guided me today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that book available at a substantial discount to everybody for a limited period of time. And I'm going to allow you to go and grab the actual workbook so that you can join us for the next 40-day workout, which we do every day on Facebook Live. So I hope that you'll join me for that. I'm excited about it. And that's it for tonight. Have lots of fun. Take care. And I'll see you next Wednesday with another chapter from the book Money and the Law of Attraction. Questions are always welcome. I will be posting a transcript of what I just read. And send me your questions. I love hearing from you. Take care, folks. I hope that this was of value to you tonight. And if it was of value, please give us a like before you leave and post a comment to let us know that it was of value. Take care, my friends. See you next time. Bye for now. Hi, Azina. Nice to see you here. Love you lots. Bye, guys. See you all later.